Hey guys, so I just got back from NAMM, and the big buzz this year on the floor was the Peavey 6505 micro head. Peavey was cool enough to give me 4 or 5 minutes just to walk through it and check out all the features. So I've got that for you right now. Bear in mind, it's a floor demo and we're just using a handheld mic and a blue focus and a couple of shots. But I think we've got a pretty good indicator of what's happening. If all goes well, hopefully I'm going to get one of these to check out in the studio in a few weeks. Let's hope that happens. Until then, here we go. Here's the floor demo.
Hi, I'm Paul Stevens with Peavey at NAMM 2015, and we're going to be looking at a new product of ours, the Peavey 6505 mini head. Obviously, this is based on the iconic 6505 head that's been, kind of a legend in rock and metal. And it's basically the same preamp section, but in a much smaller unit, 20 watts with 2 AL84 tubes in there. You can switch it from 20 watts down to 5 and then down to 1 if you want to. Kind of a bit mad having a high gain amp like this but 1 watt, but it actually does really work. So let's look at the actual sounds. First of all, rhythm channel. Anyone that is familiar with the existing 6505 will recognise this instantly. It's just a smaller version, and the tone is reflected by that as well. So actually does a pretty decent clean sound, although probably not many people ever hear an amp like this on this sound. That's the basic clean sound, but on this you can also foot switch to the crunch sound. Still the clean channel, but with the crunch setting. That's clean. But obviously, I think most of the viewers will be more interested in the lead channel, and that's where we go to next. Yeah, that's it. And anyone again that's familiar with the model on which this is based will know that this got tons of gain. And we haven't compromised at all on this in here. Just because it's small doesn't mean that it hasn't got a small sound. It's exactly the same kind of gain structure as the big one. There you go, yeah, tons and tons of gain.
So what's it retail for?
This is $499 MAP. So line up, okay. Right, in addition to obviously that amazing tone, we've also got some extra features which people will be pleased to see. We've got reverb, which the bigger heads don't have. And we obviously needed to include the resonance and presence control. This is key to the sound of the 6505. The resonance obviously gives you that thunderous bottom end, and presence is really good for fine-tuning the top end. I mean, you get a lot of range on that. Here we have the TSI LEDs. TSI stands for Tube Status Indication. Now, if I turn that to standby, you notice that they go red, and in normal playing mode, they're green. Now, that isn't all it does. What it's now doing is analysing the current through the power tubes, and if it deviates out of the normal range, then it will switch the light to red. So basically, if there's any fault condition, it will switch the LED to red, and it will carry on working even in a fault condition. So you don't, it's not a case of a blown fuse and that's it, and you have to get a new amp to finish the gig. This will carry on working, and it's obviously a warning the user that tube either needs changing or rebiasing or something. That's a feature on all of our mini heads, and also the Valve King range as well. So it's very useful. Now we're going to look at the rear panel. Okay. Yeah, on the right here we have the USB out, so you can connect direct to a computer, and it will recognise it as as a sound source.
Is there like a speaker sim on the back yet?
That is actually connected to the MSDI, so it's all that is derived from the sound of the MSDI, which is mic simulated direct interface. So you've got a choice between taking the output from the XLR for stage use, or you could record out of there. It's just another option, really. And then you even got a headphone out, so you can actually disconnect the speaker by hitting that button in, and it will direct the signal to the internal load. So you can either record out, you can record silently, or use it on headphones. We have Footswitch in for channel and boost, reverb and loop, so it's quite flexible there. Effects loop. They're moving along. You've got the switch for the impedance, so you can go into 2 cabinets or 1 cabinet. And then this really important feature is the power switch, switching between 20 watts, 5 watt, and 1 watt. So yeah, you can have got a mega high gain amp you can have on 1 watt. You know, it's pretty cool.
So you don't scare your neighbors.
Yeah, and then when you want to scare your neighbours, you stick it back on 20. So yeah, there you go. That's the Peavey 6505MH at NAMM 2015.